Greetings everyone, my Balisong brethren. Welcome back to the stream. How we all been this week? Hopefully we've been good. Chat. Now and for the rest of the week, I will be shilling that nominations for the Balisong Awards are live. Not voting, not the Balisong Awards themselves. This is simply the preliminary phase where you guys give me what you think should be nominated for each award. This is a community run event. Well, it's not community run, it's community driven. I'm the one that runs it, but it is entirely community driven. The first year we did it, me and Ty picked the nominations, and people weren't a big fan of that, so we put it entirely into you guys' hands. Please, please, please go over !awards in the chat. We'll give you the link. Head on over to the Google form where you can find, there it is, thanks Nightbot, where you can find the nominations, where you can put in your nominations. The only thing that I ask is that you please, please, please make sure that you spell stuff correctly. I don't usually like to kind of stare at the, here, I'll turn on my camera for this. Probably should, considering you guys want to see my face, show you how urgent this is. Hello, chat. How we doing? Hopefully we're doing well. Say hello to everyone in chat. What's up, Skull, Jesse, Bulldog, Tony, Evan, Sam, Lup, Pyro, Buckaroo, Ed. Chat, please read everything. Read the descriptions of each nomination category. Make sure you're spelling things correctly. I don't like to sit here staring at the results, but I already see a ton of people misspelling simple shit. And that is only going to make my job more difficult trying to tally all of these results. So I can see right here, people are nominating. Okay, I don't know what else I want you guys to do. I couldn't possibly know what else to do. So there's a category called Coolest Customs, and the description is, this category is dedicated to the awesome Balisong makers who make their own custom designs not intended for mass production or consumption. Why are people still putting Machinewise? Guys, Machinewise is objectively not a customs maker. What do we not understand about this? I don't get it. I don't know how clear I can make it. Zippy Balisong is not a customs maker. Oh my gosh, I can't. Yeah, we're talking like, I don't want to give examples. You can't give examples in a nomination form like this because then you're going to sway people's votes. But we're talking Psycho, we're talking Stitch, we're talking Mantis, we're talking like maybe even Frankenforge, I guess. Machinewise, no. Fellowship, no. Zippy, no. Flipforge, no. Farbos. Okay, we're just going to ignore that one. Yeah, I don't think it is me at this point. I could understand last year that people were... Does Andrew Myers count? Andrew Myers doesn't make full Balisongs, but like I don't see any reason he wouldn't be included because he does make his own blades. So in case it wasn't obvious, these results will be filtered. I'm going to filter out people saying Flipforge for customs maker because Flipforge is not a customs maker. Also, the Nibali's... yeah, looking through these results is going to be interesting. Looking through them is going to be interesting. So for all the updates, let's go through the form really quick and show you what I've changed and what I haven't. Here's the form. Also, you do not have to, I should actually probably, I'm going to put this in there. You do not have to answer everything. Because people will literally just put, I don't know. And it's like, that doesn't help. Just leave it blank. For anyone who doesn't know what to put, please just leave it blank. I beg of you. It will make it so much easier on me. All right. So, can I spell Kraken? Kraken is Kraken. No. No. No, you cannot. Elohop. I mean, you can. It's just probably not going to get counted towards the final boat. So we have all of the old stuff. Best Balisong accessory. This is a returning one. This one is self-explanatory, I think. Best oil, also returning, also self-explanatory. Coolest customs. Apparently I need to say this. Not intended for mass production or consumption. These are makers that do one-off designs. Or a very small amount of a specific design, like Stitch has his Paradigm. They're customs. They're not machined. They're not anything like that. Best plastic Balisong, self-explanatory. Most innovative Balisong. The category is dedicated to the coolest or most innovative idea seen in a Balisong. Zyzix would not work because the Zyzix is made by JK and JK is not a customs maker. Actually, is JK a customs maker? JK has a far bigger output than I would consider to be a customs maker. But he does make all of his stuff in-house as far as I'm aware. But it's about output. JK, I think JK outputs too much to be considered a customs maker. Most innovative idea seen in a Balisong. To give you an example, the Swordfish, I think, won one year. Because that was all aluminum. What won last year? I don't remember. Either way. So like under 100 unit. Yeah, something like that. And like machined by the person. Like the Kuno is not a custom because Remshi outsources. Most improved Balisong, dedicated to the best improvement seen between two versions of a Balisong in 2024. For example, because this one wouldn't count, the Kraken V2 to the Kraken V3, something like that. Best budget, around that price or less. Best mid-range, in that price range. We're not married to these ideas because obviously there's a big gap between Grail and mid-range. Just use your best judgment. I trust you guys. I shouldn't trust you guys, but I do. Creator of the Year, I forgot to remove that. I need to go through and actually proofread this apparently. Content creator, Instagram, YouTube, something like that. What's up, Rob? Flipper of the Year, same as last year. Really talented flipper. Not the same as flipper with a flare, but we'll get that next. We'll get into that in a little bit. Balisong of the Year must be released in 2024. That might be one of the things that we do on this stream is make a list of most of the high-profile Balisongs that have come out this year for people to reference, because I know I'm going to have to fact-check a lot of the things that people put in for this category. Next, coolest mods. This is... Probably should have renamed that category this year, but it's fine. This is modders, people who anodize, people who machine, like a speed channel or something, people who do laser patterns. This is not Zippy Balisong. Again, not Zippy. Zippy is not a modder. Zippy creates mods, so I understand where the confusion is coming in. Lovely Legacy has been changed. It hasn't really been changed since this is only the second year that it's in. But Lovely Legacy is going to be like our Hall of Fame award. So Lovely Legacy, when something wins Lovely Legacy, it can no longer win Lovely Legacy. The Kraken won last year. The Kraken will not be in contention for Lovely Legacy. And if something like I'm going to use this as an example because I know no one would ever pick this. If something like the Sasori wins Lovely Legacy, then the Sasori would never be considered for Lovely Legacy ever again. Effortless EDC. I really hope people understand what EDC means in this context. We're talking about knives that you actually want to carry and use as a tool. The Kraken won last year, and I think that was one of the more controversial wins, which I would agree with because I don't think the Kraken is a good EDC, but to each their own. Flipper with a flare is not Flipper of the Year. It is a flipper who is more creative. Think about someone who does something more than just flip really well or really fast. We're talking someone like Flipper was a dolphin. Someone who has a unique style, really good at what they do that you don't really see at other parts of the community. Outstanding value. Pyro, you can have the opinion that you want. I'm giving an example. Outstanding value, self-explanatory. Exceptional editors. So this is changed from exceptional edit last year, which in my infinite wisdom, I hoped that we would be able to nominate a specific edit that someone had done. No one was able to do that. So we changed it to editors, people who consistently make some of the best or most interesting edits. This is like an Instagram clip, a YouTube clip as well, but we're not talking about reviews. A Will Hirsch review is not an edit. A Blade Bias video is not an edit. That is a long form video. Superb Sounds, same as last year. Rising Star, same as last year. Newcomer. There's a lot of newcomers this year, so I'm actually really interested to see how this category shapes up. Because since we did the last Bally Awards, I can think of 6 or 7 new flippers who have really kind of started rising up in the community. And now this is the only new one so far. I think it will end up being the only new one because I can't really think of anything else that we could really incorporate. There was feedback last year to include more categories for like flippers, but I don't really know what else to do for flippers, like people who flip. I was thinking like most improved flipper could have been interesting, but I don't really know how you would judge that. Any idea that I had just sounded more annoying to moderate than anything else, so I just decided not to. So I am going to start doing the community's choice, which the more that I think about it, the community's choice isn't really necessary. But this year it's going to be a rotating question. So like, I don't know, community's choice on, I don't know what else you could do. You could do something, but it's like, let's ask the community a question and see what they answer. So this year is best beginner Balisong. And I think what's going to end up happening is that if this goes well, think of community's choice kind of like a beta test for future categories. Because if this goes well, I could see this becoming an actual category up here. So it's a rotating question that'll change. We'll get the community's choice on various topics. Best beginner Balisong, maybe the best titanium Balisong, or maybe the best aluminum Balisong, something like that. Think along those lines. And this year it'll be the best Balisong for a beginner to purchase, which I might just ultimately end up changing to just beginner Balisong, because all of these are really community's choice if you think about it. I don't know, man. I really don't, but that's it. So we'll see if we add any. By the time this stream ends, I would like this document to be 100% complete. I don't want to make any more changes to it. So if we have any ideas, then throw them in chat. We'll edit this as we go, or maybe we won't. Maybe it's good the way it is and we'll just run with it. But I would like it to be done by today because I think most of the nominations are going to come in tomorrow. I think that's ultimately what we're looking at, is a huge amount of nominations coming in tomorrow. So much harder to make choices this year than last year. That's a good sign generally. That means the community is kind of thriving a little bit, and I agree. I don't participate in any of this stuff because I like to keep my hands out of the actual process of voting and everything as much as possible. But if I did have to nominate people, it would be a tough call. I really don't know who I would nominate for many of the categories. Not taking suggestions on who should present a Balisong award yet. I still have to start making that list. We are not anywhere near being able to figure out who is going to present what. Because in order for a person to present, they need to know what is in their category and what won their category. And we don't even know what is in each category yet. So I am not currently thinking about who's going to present what. My guess is that it would be somewhat similar to last year, maybe just rotating a few of the people out. My goal is always going to be, maybe not always, but hopefully is to get like really hype people that will get the community hyped up, or people that make like good videos and stuff like that. And we'll kind of rotate them out so that it's not just the same people every year, but it's also tough because we've already used a lot of the big names. I'm hoping we get more. We get more than squid shows this year. Oh, I see what you're saying. Hey, how the votes go, how the votes go. My hands are completely off of it. Watching the Tyson fight while my roommate streams on Twitch and I watch this. How is the Tyson fight going? Is there anyone actually who cares about that, who is watching that? If Jelly's in any of the categories, I think I'm going to freak out. I think it would be difficult for people to nominate Jelly, given that he hasn't flipped like anything this year. Hasn't started yet? Didn't that shit start 3 hours ago? I'd rather watch this than the Tyson fight. I'd rather watch paint dry than watch the Tyson fight. I just want to know who wins. Although I don't really believe, if you allow me to put my tinfoil hat on for a second, I don't think that this fight is going to be even close to a real fight. Truly here, chat, this is probably the most political I'll ever get on this stream. If you think anything about this fight is not predetermined or like real, I think you kind of crazy. They're both standing to make just a ridiculous amount of money from it. And I don't think they care who wins. So they're just going to make whoever wins the most hype. Or Jake Paul is so corrupt that he just makes himself win. I could see that. I don't think it's real. I just want to see how it goes. It's all about money. I just want to see Jake Paul go down. I do too, and that's why I don't want to watch it. I don't think there's any world in which Jake Paul gets slapped like he should. Like in any other world, Jake Paul gets fucking destroyed by Mike Tyson, but I don't think we live in that world. And I just don't want to see it if it's anything other than that. What the? Alright, I can tell what the chat's going to be for the rest of the stream. Are you guys all on a call or something? Is that what's going on? I half expected to look over at Discord and see a big call with all of you guys there. My freak scale is not... Yeah, chat's at a 10. Dude, I'm at about a 2. I'm more focused on the Bally Awards right now. I am, to be perfectly transparent with you guys, I am kind of sweating bullets about the Bally Awards this year Because in the past, it has taken me tens upon tens of like continuous hours of work to put this all together. And I don't have tens and tens of hours to work anymore. Like I can't. Last year, I literally for like 3 or 4 days straight stayed up until like 5, 6 a.m. working on the Bally Awards. I can't do that this year. You were just talking about Jake Paul. Your freak scale's at a 10. What? I'm also just worried about time. Like, let's look at the cold hard facts here. Nominations go on. Oh, I don't think I announced this publicly, like on stream. Nominations will end next Friday. Next Friday, November 22nd, nominations will end. I might even end them a little early if people stop nominating. Like if I see it goes a full day without even going up one, I might just cut it off. Because let's look at the facts here. We have a week of nominations. It's going to take me at least half a week to get the results together. Then voting goes live, let's say the 1st of December. And then that will go till the 7th or 8th of December. Which means that I will have less than a month to get all of the videos from all the presenters, put them all together, and create the entire show. Which I've done in the past. Like, it's not a huge deal. I'm more worried about the presenters being able to make videos in that time. Then again, most people are not doing what Daisaco did last year, so. Paul or Tyson? I could never see a world where I cheer for Jake Paul in anything. I'm gonna have to lock in. You might have to lock in, Pyro. What you could also do, Pyro, is just take a category that the winner becomes extremely clear, like very early on. Like, you know, we've had categories that are like 60% to one person. So it's like, you know, immediately on day one, you know who's winning that category. So you could take one of those. I plan on topping myself every... Hey, yo. What the hell? Nominations for the Bally Awards cheesecake. Transformer collection vid when? Transformer collection vid when I can find all of my Transformers. All the ones that I keep posting are the ones that I kept out of storage because they were significant to me in some way, or the ones that I recently bought. It's not a freak scale of 10. Or the ones that I've recently bought. Like this guy behind me, I've owned since I was fucking probably 12. But I really liked him, so I kept him on a storage. I don't know where the rest of my collection is. I know for a fact that I'm missing 20 or so. I think even more than that. And I know they're in a box in my parents' basement somewhere. I just don't know where that box is. So over Thanksgiving break, which is 2 weeks from now, I'm pretty sure. Is Thanksgiving next week? No, it can't be. When is Thanksgiving? November 28th. So yeah, 2 weeks from now. Over that break, I'll dig through my parents' basement and try and find all my collection. And then maybe I'll do I shouldn't tell you my plans because half the time I never do what I tell you I'm going to do. But I would like to do kind of like an overview bonus bias on why I enjoy Transformers. And then I have 2 different figures that I want to do like dedicated bonus biases on. Planning on waiting for the worst winter blizzard we have to do a presentation if I get one. What? What? Is it for Bally creators or users? I don't know what you mean by that. Keep fiddling around with this stupid star scream I have on my desk. EE, where's your hand tattoos, dude? When I left the comment that I did on Ty's Blade Bias video, I felt kind of bad clowning on that guy, but like I feel like I just don't understand, man. I do not understand how you can look at Ty's videos and my videos and go, "Oh, this is the same person." Yeah, I felt bad about that, but there comes a certain point where I can't feel bad because, like, you can say, oh, they're new to the channel all you want. Where tattoos? If Ty didn't have tattoos, I would totally understand. I get stuff like that mixed up all the time in YouTube videos. Totally get it. But, like, when the difference is literal permanent ink in your body, I don't understand how people keep wondering, oh, what happened to your hand tattoos? Granted, to be completely totally fair, the description no longer has Ty in it, so like it's not information that you can just freely find. What's up, Saruman? Welcome. Have you seen Pez flips before? Excuse me, I have not. Ty's tats are actually sick. True. I can never tell if it's a joke or not. Generally, it's like a 50-50, Ted. If someone's asking about, like, oh, where are your hand tattoos or what happened to this Balisong, it's probably real. Most likely, which is crazy. I don't know. Pez flip. Why do I not know Pez flips? Oh, this guy's been uploading for a long time. What the heck? I'm a day one Blade Bias viewer, by the way. Rock on, bro. His flow is sick. Is he finally a YouTuber who flips like super sick when he's making videos? Kind of. I still want someone who consistently uploads head-mounted videos that flips like James Hill. Like, just give me someone who is absolutely fucking, like, cracked at flipping, but can also talk. Which is probably really difficult. But, like, the amount of time that these people put into flipping, I can't imagine it's any less than muscle memory. Bro, I'm right here. Yeah, my fault, Farbos. You're asking too much. I know I am, but like, I want to see. And ultimately, it's not even that I want to watch someone flip really well while they're recording a head-mounted video, which I do. Like, that would be really cool. But I just want, like, their opinions. I want someone, if you'll allow me to glaze myself just a tiny bit, I want someone who is as talented as anyone who can go up on and make it to the last few rounds in Bally Comp. I want someone like that to go into the detail that I do about Balisongs, talking about like different distributions that they like, or like how they interpret where different weight hotspots are, or like how they like different balances. I just want to hear like that perspective of someone who knows a little bit more about like balance and distribution from someone who's like sick at flipping. What's stopping you from being that flipper? I don't care. I listen, I love this hobby. This hobby's great most of the time. I don't care to be that good. I've just come to terms with the fact that I can say it all I want. Oh, I'm going to improve. I'm going to do this. It never happens because I don't have the drive to do it. Being a good flipper ultimately means nothing to me unless I can somehow improve my understanding of Balisongs. Because ultimately my goal is to make a video that communicates the experience of flipping a Balisong through a screen. And I don't need to be a god tier flipper to do that. I don't have the time to put in. I don't have the care to put in. I used to love your channel, but I stopped flipping for a year. What all has happened? You want me to sum up the last year of Balisongs? People are still stupid. Companies are still making good stuff. And the hobby continues to grow, despite it feeling like it hasn't. I think it's such a bummer how the content creation surrounding Bally's is purely focused on knives themselves and never the actual concept of flipping. It's the problem with a review-dominated format. There's nothing past Ty left? Ty left long before a year ago. Did I make a video on this? Yeah, the problem with limited time Balisongs. I did. As long as the hobby is review dominated, no one will ever care about anything other than reviews, you know? Which is sad because you'll never get any more conceptual videos talking about things that are a little bit like what Will does when he talks about kind of like the physics of Balisongs and he goes on his physics rants. I wish there was more of that. Like I sometimes feel like I am approaching the peak of what this community can provide in terms of like education about Balisongs, because I sometimes like in terms of YouTube, I don't have anywhere to go to learn more. The way that I learn about Balisongs is flipping more Balisongs and talking to people in person or talking to them over Discord. But like there's no YouTube source, and I really wish there was. Because if Will just uploaded a bunch of videos on the physics of Balisongs, I'd watch them all the way through. That's low-key what Pez does. He posts a lot of videos on flipping rather than specific knives. I did notice that. How to improve at flipping. Did I get scammed? The magic of Balisong flipping. The problem with adjustable weight systems. Balisong hot takes, experience with BA Bally's, subjectivity versus reliability. I don't know what he means by that. Yeah, I guess he doesn't really do review style stuff, which is pretty cool. I'm actually interested in maybe seeing what his videos are all about. As soon as I see someone who doesn't just review stuff, I'm like, I might actually give that a peek. What the fuck? Bro, what is going on in my Discord? Garfield saying, I wonder who that's for. Yeah, I know I'm a hypocrite in this sense of things, but it really, dude, sometimes I feel like the only reason that I do blade bias is because no one else is doing anything like it. Like, no one else has the scale of, like, being able to receive Balisongs, which is totally fair. But, like, if someone else ever comes out and has the access to Balisongs that I do and is able to upload as consistently as I have in the past, I will happily step back and start talking about other stuff. Happily. Then again, I do enjoy kind of the puzzle, as I like to call it, of figuring out a new Balisong. Balisong content creation is tough, and I don't think it's going to be fixed anytime soon. I really don't. Okay. If TI Kraken is most innovative, I'll lose hope in y'all. That's actually one of the things I'm most interested to see. I don't know who I would give most innovative to this year. There's been some really cool stuff, but like some of the cooler stuff hasn't been released. Like the Parallax. Parallax is super sick. That would definitely be a contender if he had released it beyond just a beta drop. Most innovative is Frank. What's innovative about Frank to you, Pyro? I don't disagree it's a unique Balisong, but... Most improved is Frank? How is Frank improved? What? Has there been a V2 of Frank that I don't know about? Frank P? Wait, are you guys considering the Frank P an upgrade to the original Frank? I don't think those would be... That's like saying the Squiddy AL is a good upgrade to the Squiddy. That doesn't exist. The Frank PZ. Gives people a real in-hand feel of what tip weight feels like. I don't disagree. I just don't think it's that innovative. I'm saying Frank P is more innovative than regular Frank, but people are saying that Frank is the best upgrade. Are we seriously considering the Frank P as like a V2? I don't think there's any world in which I would say that that's... Dude, I mean, if enough people nominate it, I can't really ignore it. Plastic bushings is the innovation. I'd have to get a Frank P to be able to... Frank P to Frank PZ upgrade. That hasn't released yet, so they wouldn't be able... It wouldn't be nominated. I am filtering out, like, if someone says some, like, like the Shino. If someone puts the Shino down, I'm just filtering that out. How can you vote for something that you've never touched and no one has? I guess unless it's, like, one of those categories that you don't have to touch it to fit, like, superb sounds. You could give that to the Shino because you can hear it over the internet. Most innovative... Maybe. I don't see a world in which that would get nominated for most innovative. It's a great Balisong, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's super innovative. Parallax spacer design is crazy. Oh, I bet. I bet. Frank P is the upgrade to Frank OG, dude. Oh, I wish I cared about the Frank P. But I know everyone wants me to review it, so... Not review it, but... Just pop it out and swap. I love that. I love pop out and swap weight systems. Fortnite? Fortnite? Has Fortnite OG released yet? I know they announced that they're bringing back OG. I will legitimately play Fortnite again when OG comes back. November 6th? So it came out a week and a half ago? No, not Fortnite Reloaded. No, 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 no. I'm not talking about Fortnite Reloaded. I know what Fortnite Reloaded is. From the official Fortnite X account. This is not a drill. OG is coming back and is here to stay. Relive Battle Royale from the start and explore the OG map, collect OG loot, and relive OG seasons. Drop back in on December 6th. And they're starting with Chapter 1, Season 1. Yeah, I'll play Fortnite again when that comes out. The Fortnite Chapter 1 is a game that I will play again, even as much as I hate Fortnite in its current state. Because when they did the season where they like went through Chapter 1, I played that season. And I had a great time during that season. It was genuinely fun. But it also kind of is like the... Why is that the trend in gaming this year? Why is everyone doing like a classic thing? I think Apex is doing some sort of classic thing this season. Overwatch just released like some limited time mode that takes it back to OG Overwatch, which is crazy because Overwatch 2 is the same fucking thing. It looks like the battle royales are just, and Overwatch are just nostalgia baiting to get new players because they saw... Everyone sees that Fortnite does something and gets like ridiculous player counts, and then they just copy it because everyone's creatively bankrupt and no one can come up with new ideas. I hate it. They see Fortnite gets like 1 million concurrent players when they bring back their OG season, and they completely ignore the fact that OG Fortnite's like something that people legitimately enjoy and want. It was a good game. And they go, oh, if we bring back our OG thing, then people will flock back to our game. And it's like, no. Nope, I'm not touching Overwatch with a 10-foot pole. Even if you bring it back to the glory days or whatever. So many other games did OG reboots first. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just saying that Fortnite's the one to popularize it. Fortnite, like, Appleifies everything. Because Apple sells USB-C ports as like this big new innovation, as if they haven't existed for 10 years now. Yeah, the live service gaming industry is just a bunch of garbage right now. Actually, it usually is a bunch of garbage, but... Alright, should we maybe start making this list of Balisong of the year? No, you know what I should do is I should look at the responses. Let's see how many people have actually submitted something that released this year. Flyscape EOS could also be innovative. It could be, but I don't think enough people have flipped it to want to nominate it. Someone Okay, that never mind. That's not what I thought it was. Okay, that's a crazy one. I don't want to tell people what people are nominating because, again, I don't want to sway anything. But can we just give a massive shout out to the guy who voted for the Raken for Balisong of the Year? Just... Can we just give a shout out to the squid shills who just aren't capable of reading anything at all? And the only thing in their mind is the Kraken? That's crazy. Oh, great. There's two of them. Oh. Okay. Dude. Kraken. The Kraken is genuinely good. I'm not a show for them. I'm not denying the Kraken isn't good. I'm saying the Kraken didn't release in 2024, which is the only requirement to be nominated for Balisong of the Year. Watch some fucking kid come in and say, it's the Damascus Kraken, because that released this year. I would just block that. Would TI Kraken count? TI Kraken would count. That is a legitimately different model. There's some different Kraken models that released in 2024. Yeah, we don't count those. The Weehawk Kraken, maybe I could make an exception for, but like, I think I'm just going to filter out every answer that has Kraken in it that doesn't also have TI. Because the TI Kraken is genuinely, I feel, is a different flipping experience, different Balisong. Yeah, the bronze colored Kraken. Oh man. Here's the thing. Dude, I don't know. Bally of the Year could go any way. I have no... Usually like the past 2 years, right? When I make the nominations, or when I fill out the list, I kind of have some idea of like who I think is going to win, and it's generally pretty easy to predict. Like best oil, Carbon Honey is probably going to be a huge nomination because he's one of the only people that consistently releases oil, but we don't have to talk about that. I have no idea. Like budget Balisong. Last year I was like, okay, it's probably going to be like the Vulp, the Orion, something like that. This year, no idea. Mid-range, I have zero idea. Grail, I mean, we probably have some idea. Flipper of the Year could go to anyone, honestly. But Balisong of the Year, zero idea. Chinese companies next year are going to have a hard time competing, not going to lie. Best budget might go anywhere next year, especially. Okay, this is a topic that I wanted to avoid because politics, but it is time to face the music that if our president-elect goes through with his plans to tariff anything that comes into the U.S., we will be looking at much higher Balisong prices. Like, that is just a thing that will be happening. So I think that I don't know how that's going to affect things. That'll be very, very fascinating to see how that affects the Balisong market. Will it make American companies more competitive? Will it actually not end up affecting anything at all because they don't technically import them? It's like a... Is there like some sort of loophole that they have? That's going to be an interesting thing to talk about. I feel like a lot of people will vote for Banks in light of his recent win. Probably. I think winning Balicomp has a very good chance of seeing you get nominated for something. Did you do modder or edit? Yes. So we have coolest mods, and edit got changed to editors. So instead of asking for a specific edit, we're just asking for a person who does good edits. Do American companies import materials to make their ballys? Almost assuredly. I don't know the answer to that specifically, but I'm pretty sure. Because that's also a good point. If everything coming into the country is being tariffed, then sure, Chinese Balisong is going to get more expensive, but also the materials that we import are going to get more expensive. Does America does produce aluminum. These are just take all of this with a grain of salt. This is a very quick Google search. Do we do titanium? We do mine titanium, but significantly less of it. So yeah, maybe it won't affect raw materials. If the tariffs are China only, dude, no one in America knows what's going to happen in the next few months. I don't think even the person who promised all of this knows what's happening in the next few months. So we'll see how all that goes. Didn't see best modder unless it was best mod. Yeah, coolest mods is a modder, which I should probably change the wording on that. Magnificent modder. How does that sound? It's the magnificent modder. This category is dedicated to the modders with some of the coolest work, whether it be anodizations, new machining, laser patterns, etc. US is the #1 global exporter of titanium. Oh, really? I actually didn't know that. %60 for China, 30. That sounds familiar. I'm not up to date on that, admittedly, but it sounds about right. But yeah, I am, political context aside, I'm very interested to see how all of that affects the overall Balisong market. Because we could be living in a world where Chinese Balisongs become significantly less competitive than they are currently. I mean, 60%. Yeah. Actually thinking about that, holy shit. Oh, say goodbye to any high-cost China Balisong. Do you think that the Kraken will win any nominations or awards? To be honest with you, I hope it doesn't, but I know it will. I hope it doesn't, but I know it will. Best EDC, I really hope it doesn't win Best EDC again. I think that was one of the biggest, controversial picks. I don't know why I care about controversial picks, because I'm not the one who picked them. Community can get mad about it all they want. They're the ones who voted for it. But yeah, I think the Kraken The key to defeating the Kraken is to not nominate it, because you have to think, for the majority of people who are voting, they're voting on categories that they've never touched any of these Balisongs, so they just go with the one that has the most name recognition, and that's usually the Kraken. Who would vote for the EPS 101, because barely anyone knows what that is. Everyone knows what the Kraken is, so they're going to pick the Kraken. So I think if the Kraken doesn't get nominated, it doesn't win. But if the Kraken does get nominated, there's a good chance that it does win. Updated my nominations, much happier now. So how does that work? How does updating your nominations work? Does it, like, when you go back into the form, does it show you what you've submitted and then you're able to change it? This is a question I should know the answer to, but I don't. You can edit your responses. Okay, so it brings back up what you put. That's what I was hoping for. That's good. I made it so that you can edit the responses, but you can only submit one response. So an account can't just spam the thing over and over and over and over. Because I know we would have people coming in and being like, oh, I'm just gonna submit my favorite YouTuber for Creator of the Year like 100 times. Why aren't you watching Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson right now? Because I don't give a fuck. The only thing I care about is the results. I don't care to watch it before the results are in. Ghost Flipping. What's up, man? How's it going? I will say we are up to 60 responses for the nominations, which, considering I posted this, 5 hours ago, is pretty good. As I said earlier, I imagine most of our nominations will come in tomorrow, considering I posted it kind of late for people across the seas. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to see. So I want to see... I'm waiting. So we have Lovely Legacy, which, if I haven't explained it so far, it's a discontinued Balisong that didn't release this year, obviously. That not discontinued, but didn't release this year, and you can only win it once. So the Kraken won Lovely Legacy last year. The Kraken cannot be nominated again because we want to figure out some of the most influential Balisongs. So essentially, Lovely Legacy is going to be... It's going to be kind of like a Hall of Fame of sorts. So I specifically said, since the Squid Kraken won last year, it's no longer eligible for this category. I am waiting for someone to submit Kraken. I am waiting for someone to submit the Kraken. I spoke too soon. Technically, someone... Dude, it just gets worse. I'm not even halfway through the responses yet. Oh my God. Someone said should have skipped this category this year. What? Do you guys not like Lovely Legacy? Do you guys not think creating like a group of Hall of Fame Balisongs is cool? Lovely Legacy, I think, is a fucking sick, category. Okay, so we have someone said I was gonna say Kraken. Someone said Kraken should win anyway, and someone said Kraken V3. Dude, I can't. Oh, I know they're trolling, but I'm not going to treat them as they're trolling because I think some people in this community genuinely would do that. You just can't make that up. I just want to be clear. If you say, I was gonna say the Kraken, and you say nothing else, that's a vote for the Kraken. Like, we have to be clear about that. You just voted for the Kraken. Well, you didn't vote. You nominated the Kraken. Oh, guys, you guys are not... You guys are not going to be happy with how effortless EDC is shaping up. Oh man, anyone who's looking for the forum, type !awards in chat with an S. Nightbot will give you the link. Oh, these are... I am going to stop looking at the responses after today, but this is already shaping up to be an interesting year for voting. Oh boy. Recommend making a post. I'll probably make a post tomorrow. I'm waiting to have more official art. Like until I've updated the logo. I won't vote because the only Bally I have is a Kraken trainer clone. You can still vote. You can still nominate. Hell, I don't care. 90% of the people that nominate things probably have never touched the Balisong that they're nominating. Oh well. No. Here, I'll help you guys out. You have to type !awards. When did they stop giving out white pouches for the Nautilus? Did Squid ever give out white pouches? Pickle no good, man. Pickle no good for the winter Nautilus. I don't think the winter Nautilus that I got came with a black pouch, I'm fairly certain. The beautiful thing about doing unboxings on YouTube is that I can go check. Oh, whoops. I forgot. If I can see OBS, you guys can too. Oh, mine did come with a white pouch. I genuinely would not have remembered that. Love the background of the stream. Thank you. Thanks, Ghost. You guys think the Prisma is going to win Legacy? Not a bad shout. Not the worst idea in the world. I think the ones that I'm genuinely interested to see where they go is most innovative, best budget, best mid-range, Balisong of the Year, Legacy, and Rising Star. Guys. Why? Can we stop saying I don't know? Just don't put anything. See you, Ghost. Have a good one, man. Good to see you. Should I make a live blade for my Hybel Fun Trucks or save up money to buy a mound of sand? It's a good question. That was half the reason I chose the winter version, but they gave me the black pouch. You know you can buy a white pouch, right? And it would be much less than the price that they charge you for white G10. I bet this is how a teacher feels reading half-assed quiz answers. No. A teacher feels far more enjoyment because they can give the person a bad grade. I can't give anyone a bad grade. I don't even know who submitted all of these questions or all of these answers. Balisong of the Year is strictly 2024. And to be clear, I think I probably should actually put this. 2024 includes Balisongs that released after the voting period of the last Bally Awards. So one specific one that I have in mind is the Vault Pro. The Vault Pro released after voting ended for the Bally Awards last year. So it is technically, even though it released in like November, it is technically eligible for Balisong of the Year this year. Because Seraph was 2023. Seraph? No. No, the Seraph wouldn't have been Bally of the Year. The Prisma Pro was Bally of the Year last year. Yeah, best sound. So the way it works is generally Balisongs, like in those categories, it doesn't matter when they were released, but like for like best mid-range or best budget, we're going to prioritize things that released this year, and then if we don't have enough nominations, then we'll go through things that were released previously. But I think we'll have enough released this year in budget and stuff like that. So Superb Sound's release date doesn't matter. Balisong of the Year specifically must be this year. There's no way I would ever allow a Balisong. Okay, there is a way, but I will try not to allow a Balisong that released last year or the year before or whenever. Brandon. Why can't I edit you? Oh, because I'm in responses. Oh no. Okay, so let's do the list of Balisongs released this year. Excuse me. Can we nominate multiple Balisongs in a row? Someone didn't read the header at the top of the page. Yes, you can. Balisongs released. Balisongs eligible. I shouldn't word it like that because then people will say anything not on the list. Here's some examples of Balisongs released this year. Okay, so I kind of want to go company by company. I think that would be good. But in order to do that, I probably should also have Instagram pulled up so that we can see when they posted about Balisongs. But yeah, you can nominate multiple. We play fast and loose by the nomination rules because it's a fast and loose thing. It's not meant to be like a very precise thing. It's just meant to give me an idea of what people want to see in each category. And I mean, I do go based on count, but this is going to be a very daunting thing. So what released this year for Nabali's? Dude, everything released this year for Nabali's. This is actually going to be a really tough list to do. Nabali's, so we have the Vault Pro. Did the Wing release this year? This is actually going to be a nightmare to fill out. So the Vault Pro released this year. Did the you know what? I'm going to go by Blade Bias videos. Nabali's usually sends me their stuff. Vault Pro, Teflon Vault, Cheese, Wing, and Canyon. Did the Canyon release this year? Would you like me to share the nominations being live, mine and Will's Instagram? You can wait, Brandon. I'm going to make a post about it so people can share it easier. Okay, so the Wing, I made a video on January 16th. So it was Vault Pro, Wing, Canyon, Extrusion, Teflon Vulp, Cheese, okay. So Vault Pro, Teflon Vulp, Cheese, Wing, Canyon, Extrusion. More like exclusion, am I right? True. You're actually so real for that, Ted. So Vault Pro, Wing, Extrusion, Canyon, Teflon Vulp, Vault Pro, Teflon Vulp. Oh, cheese. Can't forget the cheese. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Suchi. I'm glad you got over your stomach bug, man. 2024 being the worst year for Bally sales for a lot of people. Balisong of the year just gonna be a $100 Amazon trainer. Okay, LDY released the Orion 1. Was the Orion 1.5 this year? I don't think it was. No, it wasn't. The Orion 1.5 was last year. So the Orion 1.5 was last year. This year we had the Frank, we had the Sirius V4, and we had the Frank P. Frank P, Corvus, Sirius V4. I gotta change my nominations. That's actually a good question. Are people nominating the Orion for Balisong of the Year? Yes, they are, but not a ton of people. Oh, the Vixen and the Aquatic. Good call, Ted. Good call, Ted. Okay, next. Squid. Actually, we'll do Machinewise, because I can do that off the top of my head. Machinewise. We have the Sasori, the Totori. This is only one S. And the TI Sasori. Okay, Squid. Squid has the Squiddy XL. Squid has the TI Kraken. Squid has the Mako V5, I guess, technically. Oh, the Aluminum Cygnus has, I guess that's released. Aluminum Cygnus, good call, Ted. Oh my gosh, I can't type today. Totally forgot about the Cygnus Aluminum. Vixen V2, thank you for the correction, Ted. Okay, Squid has the Squiddy XL, the TI Kraken, the Mako V5. Hydro was this year? Was it? Dude, the Hydro feels much older than that. Was the Hydro actually this year? Dude, it was. Damn. Gotta add the Necron. Okay, fine. We're gonna do a miscellaneous tier. Are there any other like big brands that have a ton of releases this year? Because I wanna condense everything that has a lot of releases into each brand themselves, and then we'll do a miscellaneous. Just people in chat can just list off everything they can think of. Forgot the Flyfather V2. No, I didn't. It didn't release. What other companies exist that have released a lot of stuff this year? Thomas Balisong. You got to include him. Thomas Balisong has the Baikal. He has the Default. He has the Astra. He has... They sell the Flyfather at Blade West. Do I count that? Oh, fuck it. Why not? It's not going to get nominated, so... Remember, each company can only have one nomination per category. So Machinewise cannot win a nomination for the Sasori and the Totori for Bally of the Year. Thomas Balisong. I'm missing one. What was the other one? The Aragon. Okay, miscellaneous. BB Barracuda V2. Necron. Aluminum Archangel, even though it sucks. Chat, throw me some more. Throw any Balisong that released this year in chat. Barracuda. Okay. The Lyra. I don't know what that is, but I trust you. Was the Superfly this year? Shino technically hasn't released yet. Did the Superfly, I think, technically released long before I ever had one. So I don't think it counts. I do not think that the Superfly would count. Oh yeah, because Ty was the one who received the first Superfly. He didn't send me the Superfly until he released the Barracuda blade for it. Yeah, the Superfly's over a year ago. You have the Teflon Vault on there? I did. Teflon Vault. Wait, the PM2. The Kuno released last year. The Astral. Been sitting on a complete Teflon Vault video to script for over a week now, and I'm waiting on Will to be available to do it. Damn. Dude, sometimes it be like that. I always complain about not having anyone to film with, but times like that, it would be a blessing. Just join back. What's the list for it? This is a list of Balisongs that have released this year for people to reference when making nominations for Balisong of the Year. Ialuno? Yeah, I guess technically. Shino hasn't released yet. Live Chione? Sure. Shot some sick TI beat Kraken B-roll too this week. Nice. Nikiri, no. I guess we should include Blake's stuff. Nikiri, what's his new one? The Sparrow, the Tesseract, Fellowship, EPS, Fellowship and EPS. Good call, Brandon. I'm gonna do EPS as its own brand up here. Can I get some EPS shills in the chat to tell me what EPS is released this year? Because I really have not kept up with their release schedule. Vortex V3. While we're on it, Nemesis V3. A51 Apollo. TI Koenig. Good one, good one. EPS. So we have the 101 V2. Technically the 101 V3, right? Is that released? TI Wraith. TI 101. Okay. By the way, for anyone following along at home, we're doing like bigger brands up here that have more releases. I probably should put Fighter Pacific. True, Ted. Good one. You know what? We'll do this. Well, since Machinewise only has 3, we'll do NRB and BA Bally's. We will do that. We will take this, get rid of this, get rid of this, take that, put that under NRB, TI Koenig, get rid of you, get rid of you. And we'll also take these 3, put them under BA Bally's, get rid of them down here. Light Tech V2, Light Tech V2. I'm gonna have to put this in bold letters. This is not a complete list, because I know people are gonna say, oh, it wasn't on the list, so I didn't vote for it. Nope, not how this works. This is not a complete list. Here's some ideas, I guess. Ideas for Balisongs released this year for Balisong of the Year. Oh, sure. Sure. Oh, the Flipforge palette. Good call. Good. I fucked that up. See, this is why I want to do this on stream, because you guys are going to think of things that just fly under my radar entirely. While we're on random Balisongs that I forgot about, how about the Ballifleur? How about the Chroma V3? How about oh, thank God. Thank God. Voltaic? No, the Voltaic's not this year. I flipped a Voltaic at Blade Show last year. Or 2 years ago. Aeon? Aeon's not out yet, Roger. Hom Designs. Oh, is there any Hom stuff that released this year? Medusa V... Was the Medusa V4 this year? Invargaboon? Yeah, the Invargaboon was this year. Fellowship, not Fellowship, Medusa V4. Max Ice did. I don't know what they made, though. Was the Serpent Striker this year? Serpent Striker V3? I think the Serpent Striker V3 is really the only thing that they make that would have a chance of getting nominated. It was last year? Damn. I think this is a good enough list, right? I think Petro V2, Apostle V2. Phantom 2.0. Did Squid do anything? Oh, I heard it. Duh, I'm stupid. God, there were a fuck ton of releases this year. What the hell? Shall my award hosting services be needed? I'm happy to oblige as always. Do you mean to present an award? I have not begun assembling the list of people that I will want to present an award. But Brandon, considering that you are always the easiest person to include in the show because you put a lot of work into making sure your video is like almost ready to go, or at least like really close to being ready to go, I can't imagine you'd be left off the list, but I can't promise anything right now. Because we technically went down. I deleted the best Amazon isn't an award this year. So I have technically deleted a few categories. We also added community choice. Okay, I think this is a good... Appreciate it, Brandon. I really do. I think this is a good enough list. I think this will jog people's memories in order to be able to figure out who to vote, who to nominate. Because if people look at this and they can't figure out what to nominate, then I can't really help you there. So yeah. I think we're good. Thank you, chat, for all of your help on that. The last thing I want to ask that's going to be Bally Award related is, do you guys have any ideas for... I'm going to regret asking this because a bunch of people DM me with ideas that just weren't great. Being completely honest, it would have been difficult to implement them. But does anyone have anything that they feel like is missing from the award show? Because the time to add a category is right now while we only have 60 responses. I don't think there is. I've done a lot of racking my brain over the past few weeks. I don't really think there is anything to add that we're like super missing out on. The only one I could think of is like most improved flipper, but I don't really know how people would do that. How people would nominate that. Shout out to the people who put me as their response. Guys, I can't see. I can't see who submits each response. Just so you know. So if you put me, it's a wasted vote. I don't know who put that. No, positive awards only. We're not doing most controversial or anything like that. I had someone recommend me do the biggest L of the year, which like is funny. It's a funny idea, but I don't want to make this devolve into like name calling, bullying, stuff like that. Biggest disappointment. No. Balisong flippers try to be positive challenge. Impossible. I think we're good. We cover content creators as much as we need to. We cover flippers. We cover a bunch of different Balisongs. Where can you buy a BA Bally knife other than Insta? Secondhand market, but he sells through Instagram. Yeah, worst flipper is wild. Kindest community members. We could do a more community focused award, like someone I know a lot of people last year were talking about making a category that like John Vedek would be nominated for. I don't think kindest would be the best way to I also have a problem with saying like best community member, because then it's just going to be a popularity contest for YouTubers. Community member of the year. Again, I have the same thought process though. What stops that from just becoming someone putting Will Hirsch or Blade Bias or something like that? How much blade weight is on the Nikiri? Not a ton. It'll still roll over. It depends what weights you have in it, of course. Community member of the year. We could do something like that. Again, I maybe make it people who don't do YouTube. I mean, but then you just get like people saying like Pyro or Balisong Nerd or something like that. Most underappreciated. See, this is another thing. People suggested to do like a most underrated Balisong, but if a Balisong is underrated, then how is it going to get nominated and voted for? Because no one knows what it is. I would consider a content creator and community member to be very different. I agree with you, Brandon. Don't get me wrong, but these people are just going to see a name that they know and they're just going to say that. Because like in the eyes of the average Brandon, let me just show you what we're dealing with here. In Lovely Legacy, when I specifically said the Kraken can't win, we've had 3 people try and nominate the Kraken. So like common sense goes out the window when you're trying to make a category for this kind of stuff. Simple as that. I mean, it's we need to come up with a category that a baby could vote for. I put Seraph for Lovely Legacy. Seraph would not. I guess Seraph would qualify Lovely Legacy. You're right. Community Member of the Year. Okay, let's try this. How about this? So let's add Community's Choice Best Beginner Balisong. What about just Community's Choice? No, that would be even more difficult to explain. I was going to say we change Community's Choice Best Beginner Balisong to just Best Beginner Balisong, and then we do Community's Choice for Community Member. I don't think that would work though. That would require too much explanation. Okay, let's do this. I think best when I'm actually physically implementing something. So let's make a new short answer. Let's do Community Member of the Year. Oh, I'm stupid. This category is dedicated to the people who make our community a better place to be. Someone who make our community what it is. Dedicated to the people. Man, usually I'm really good at stuff like this. The category is dedicated to people that our community would not be the same without. And then this would have to be one of those note. Content creators / see, because here's the thing, Banks isn't technically like a content creator, but people would vote for him because he's a really good flipper and he's an amazing community member. What is the This is a sort of category that I really want to have. If I'm 2 months into Balisongs and I read that, I would just vote Will. Yeah, that's the thing. Content creators / prominent flippers, but like Ted's a prominent flipper because people know who he is. That's what we're looking to do. How do we word this so that someone who's kind of new to all of this wouldn't just immediately input their favorite content creator or their favorite flipper or their favorite Instagram creator or whatever? Favorite modder. How do we appreciate people that stay on the sidelines? No, I know, but if I say prominent flipper, like people would probably think, like, I'd say you're a prominent flipper. Not because, like, you're the world's best flipper, but just because you're a flipper who people know. How do we appreciate the Teds, the John Vedeks, the... Is it bad that I can't think of anyone else? I would ideally want to call it like the Wicked Sick Award, but then that would just mean that people would just vote for John. Best trick teacher. I was thinking about implementing something like that, but like, do we really have any tutorial focused creators? I don't think we do. We have, I mean, big flips, obviously. I gotta be honest, guys. I don't think there's any good way to do this. An average participant in the community that's not a content creator on YouTube. Someone who's very active on social media and actively engages. Yeah. This category is dedicated to the everyday people who make our community who make our community. I feel like Zippy could even fall into that category. He could, but like the goal is that we don't want him to be. That's the thing. It's I don't think there's a good way to classify the kind of person that we're looking for. Because you could just apply all of this to Zippy or some maker or some content creator or modder or freaking anyone. Best vibes, same thing, it's too general. One thing that I am actively interested in is how is Creator of the Year going? Because I think I'd rather have Vedek in the video as one of the announcers. I think I've reached out to him in the past and he didn't want to be in the spotlight like that. I could be wrong. I am just speaking out of my ass on that one. I want to see how Creator of the Year is going because I really, really hope that we get like Den, Desuko, Pyro, stuff like that. I think I'm going to bow out of the race on this one. I think I might just say, hey, I can't win. Blade Bias cannot win. Cannot be nominated for Creator of the Year this year. Because who was Creator of the Year? Blade Bias Will and Brandon, Balisong Nerd, Pyro. People either answer correctly or don't. I mean, the whole thing is that we're not trying to eliminate people answering wrong. We're just trying to make it as minimal as possible. Because like exceptional edit last year was my fault, but because it was unclear, it almost became a category that we couldn't do because there were no nominations. It was very difficult to figure out nominations for those for that category. Battle Song of the Year goes to Blade Bias. Yeah, I might just say, hey, Blade Bias can't be nominated. Because I want to see some other people nominated this year. Like I said, I want to see like Den. I want to see Desuko. I want to see someone like those guys getting nominated over me. Then again, you gotta pick people who are technically uploading consistently. But hey. Weird category, but would be interesting in what people would nominate. That's what I was thinking. So community choice, I was thinking about just saying nominate whatever the fuck you want. You know? Merch of the year? Balisong fashion? Because I was gonna say that would just be Simple Stock, but you could have Simple Stock, you could have the Squid Industries merch. You could freshest fashion. This category is dedicated to the coolest piece of Balisong related swag. That could be fun. Oh shit, community member of the year actually got added. Okay, we want to delete that. Where's the delete button? Okay. Simple Stock would just sweep. I think it would, but at the same time, you can't just like, I can't really deny a category just because I think one person would sweep. If that was the case, I would take oil out of it because everyone's just going to vote Carbon Honey. Shout out to the people putting BB Barfly for coolest customs. I'm glad we have learned nothing. Best secondhand sales? What do you mean? Buffness just made shirts and hoodies. Buffness didn't. Simple Stock did. And technically Simple Stock makes a bunch of Squids merch. So I think you're right. It would just be a Simple Stock sweep. Is that a bad thing? No, but I also don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing, but at the same time, I kind of do. Best secondhand dealer? Best seller on the market, someone who always gives killer prices and deals. I do not trust the average person to be. I couldn't even answer that, and I'm more embedded in the community than the average person. Could just fall under accessories. It could, you're right. But technically, accessories are for a Balisong itself. I think I'm fine where we're at. I don't think we need to add like fashion. I don't think we need to add. I would really like to add a community, like a community recognition thing, but I just don't think there's a good way to do it. You have to remember, Ted, people last year couldn't even come up with an edit that they thought was the best of the year. So like, I don't think we're going to be able to do like secondhand retailer or something like that. Best Balisong company. Why haven't we done something like that? I think that might be best saved for a community choice award down the road. Community's choice best Balisong company. Or I could just add it. Community's choice best Balisong company. I don't feel the need to do that because the best Balisong company becomes apparent when you have companies winning awards for their Balisongs. The whole idea of the Balisong Awards is to appreciate the people that don't get appreciated enough. Appreciate the makers and the content creators that, well, content creators get appreciated enough, but you know what I mean. It's to show appreciation to people in the community, and I don't really think adding a best Balisong company award would add any sort of appreciation to that. Categories of best underrated. So I explained this one earlier, Steven. You can't have an underrated category that's voted on by the community, because if something's underrated, then people don't know about it. And if people don't know about it, then they can't nominate it. So then they can't vote for it. So underrated stuff doesn't really work. Plus, knowing this community, people would put the Kraken. People would say that the Kraken is the most underrated Balisong. Yeah, the intention for underrated stuff is great, but underrated only works when you have someone like a committee picking them so that people can vote on them. Pick the lowest picks on the most underrated as the winner, but then the lowest picks are the most off topic. The lowest picks are the people who randomly just type in bullshit to be funny. Like Farbos. If we were going off of that, Farbos just put his name for all the categories. Farbos would win in that case. Now, what you could do is have a vote for best Balisong company and then pick the lowest of that. Like some of the lower picks for most underrated, but there's no good way to do underrated. I wish there was, because that plays in perfectly into giving appreciation to people who don't normally get it. But I don't think there's a good way to. Could just lean into prominent figures and make that a category. We already have that, though. We have Flipper of the Year. We have Content Creator of the Year. That's prominent figures. The whole idea of that community vote would be picking someone who's not a crazy good flipper, someone who's not a really famous content creator, someone who's not someone whose contribution to the community is not their skill or their ability to make videos. Someone whose contribution is social, I guess, or positive, or any of that. Just write that. I have this feeling that it's not going to go the way that we want it to. I know this isn't good stream content, but I'm legitimately racking my brain for good ways to do this. I don't know. I don't know. Have no idea. Really don't know. Steam implemented their own built-in recording thing? That's actually sick. Half-Life 2 is free to keep until Monday. Okay. I clicked add to account and it said no licenses. Yeah, I mean, that's the point, right? All right, I have Half-Life 2 now. That's cool. Brainstorming is good stream content. I don't disagree with you. It's just not very interesting, like, to visually watch. But I think I'll just have to make a note to myself to shout out all the people who don't get recognized as much. You should make it for certain categories like Flipper of the Year and Creator of the Year. Previous winners can't be considered. I disagree. Because we're talking about people that made a profound impact this year. The same person can make just as big of an impact this year as they did last year. The thinking behind Lovely Legacy not being able to be re-voted for is the fact that legacy doesn't change. That famous Balisong will always have the same it will always have that same impact on the community. And even if it goes up, it still got recognized for it. So it's not going to get recognized for it again. So Lovely Legacy is really the only category I would consider not allowing previous winners to run again. Because Flipper of the Year, sometimes it's true that the same person is on top 2 years in a row, and I want to be able to recognize that. I want the community to be able to vote on this person who has been so dominant this year in terms of content creation or flipping or companies that are making Balisongs. Machinewise is the only company to win Balisong of the Year. And I think it just shows how dominant they were in their field. So, although I think this year we might be looking at a possible non-Machinewise win. It'll be very interesting. I think I would be surprised if either the Sasori or the Totori won Balisong of the Year, but it's not impossible. Anything's possible. Anything is possible. I think it's between the LDY Series V4 and the Sasori Trainer. I don't want to give specific examples because I know people would just take what I say and then vote for it. But I mean, there's only 15 people here anyway. I think it's really going to come down to whether or not the Yeah, Brandon, that's kind of where my head's going too. I think it's going to come down to how many people are voting for Bally of the Year, because ultimately it's human psychology to vote for something that you're more familiar with, or to vote for something that you own because you want to prove that it is as good as you think it is. I think it really comes down to how many people turn out to vote for the cheaper Nabali stuff. I genuinely think it's a possibility that we see a win from like a Cheese or a Canyon, or I think those are probably the only two from Nabali's that might win. The Vault Pro, if people remember that it exists and is eligible for this year, which I don't know if that'll happen or not. But I really do think it's going to come down between, because the Series V4, I don't know if it's as influential as something like the Prisma or the Prisma Pro were. Because I'm just, maybe I'm the one that's out of touch here. I don't really think there is a Balisong that's been hyped up to the level that the Prisma and the Prisma Pro were in their respective years. Like those years, you could kind of tell there was an energy behind Machinewise that I feel like they've lost since they discontinued some of their old stuff. Maybe I'm just out of the loop. Maybe people are really getting excited about the Totori or maybe the TI Sasori. But I don't know if I see another Balisong that kind of has that level of hype behind it that the Prisma Pro did. I mean, hey, let's just look back at our list that we created. I think the Series V4 is most likely going to be LDY's nomination, the one that gets chosen. But then, yeah, I think we're going to be looking at something like a Canyon or a Cheese. I think we'll probably be looking at the default. We'll most likely be looking at like the TI Kraken. If the hype is alive for that, maybe the TI Wraith. I could also see a lot of people going for something like a Barracuda V2. Maybe a Palette. I doubt the Palette would be on track to get Bally of the Year, but who knows? In terms of where things stand right now, though, interesting. Okay. There is a clear pattern shaping up. Regardless, I think Bally of the Year is going to be a tight race this year. I think it's going to be a really interesting race to watch. Because the thing with Balisong of the Year, the nominations really don't matter because there end up being like 8 anyway. I just need to figure out what the most popular responses are. I was not that impressed with the tutorial, and I think that sentiment isn't just you. I think that sentiment is widely shared with a bunch of people. I think people just aren't... What the fuck? I just realized my Starscream I've been playing with, his fists are 2 different colors. How the fuck? Wow, that's like an egregious color difference. Holy shit. Yeah, I just don't think Machinewise has the same hype that they did the past 2 years. Because a lot of people do like the tutorial. I do think we will be seeing a strong voting force for the tutorial or the Sasori or something. Machinewise will absolutely have something that is like voted for very widely. I just think there's a good chance that something else pulls ahead. And what that is remains to be seen. If I had to bet, I would say we're looking at something like someone mentioned it in chat. Who was it? Yeah, Income. I think TI Kraken might be there from people not even trying it and just seeing the name Kraken. We could see something like that this year. We really, it's a very realistic thing to expect that people just see Kraken and just click it for Bally of the Year. Like the tutorial significantly more than the TI Sasori, so does Will. I suspect that I would too, based on what I've heard of it. And I love the tutorial. I just don't think the tutorial is my Bally of the Year. But that's the thing. I don't know what my Bally of the Year is. Actually... No, I think I do have my Bally's of the Year. I have 3 that come to mind. Machinewise stuff is going to be too pricey and too limited now. Yeah. I mean, like you clarified, it's not that it's pricey or... It's not that it is pricey or limited. It's just that it's not as widespread as the Prisma. Like, the Prisma, I feel like, was so widely praised. I'm not going to say unanimously praised, because there were people that didn't like it. But the Prisma was just so widely praised that it just made sense that it won. Same with the Prisma Pro. I think if anything has the chance to dethrone those two, it's the Totori from their current lineup. Because I think I've seen the most positive feedback for the Totori. But also the Totori is $200 more. So there's going to be less people who actually have experience with it that are going to be fighting for it very heavily. It's just, it's really fascinating stuff to think about. The Bally Awards really becomes the time that I'm the most invested in this community, because there's just so much to think about and consider. And I'm fascinated by stuff like that. I don't hate new Machinewise, but I prefer old Machinewise. Yeah, that's basically what I say. I flip my Prisma Pro more than I flip my Sasori. I just genuinely, I had an excitement for Machinewise that's kind of died down since. They're still a great company. They're still doing amazing things. I still love the guys behind the scenes. But like in terms of their products, I'm just not as excited about them as I once was. If you bowed out of doing the Bally Awards for whatever reason, I'd have a blast hosting that show. I think that that is not an unreasonable thing, Brandon. I think that that possibility is far more likely than both of us realize. This show, this 2024 show is going to determine if I continue doing it or not, because I am genuinely dreading the next like month or so, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it all done. I am planning on bringing more people into like a team to help me put it together. But I just don't know if I'm going to have the time to get it done. It very easily could become a situation where I don't have the time to give it the love that it deserves. And I have to, even though I'm still in the Balisong community, I have to turn it over to a different host. I'd still work on it in the background, of course, but I would just not be the one doing a majority of the work. Please give me tasks to help with. I think I absolutely will, Brandon. I cannot do everything that I did last year with my current work schedule. Bally Awards last year was easily a 40-hour endeavor. I can't do that this year. But right now I'm just focused on getting nominations, getting as many nominations as we can. Brandon, I might, we'll have to discuss it off stream, but I might send you over I might shoot, if you're willing, of course, I might shoot you over the spreadsheet that gets made from the nominations, and I might just have you do like a few of the categories. Because one of the big time sinks is trying to figure out what actually won the nomination, because I don't have an automated way to do it as of right now. Will the Bally Awards stream be on a Saturday night? I cannot say that right now. I do not know when the Bally Awards stream will be. I think most likely the Bally Awards will probably be the 27th or the 28th, which is a Friday and a Saturday. But it also could be like a Monday or something. It really depends on my family's plans for the holidays this year. Also, my throat is getting ridiculously dry. I'm gonna go get a drink. But yeah, Brandon, I probably will end up delegating some of the categories in terms of figuring out nominations to you to give you a chance to dig into the data a little bit, but also just to take some stuff off my plate. The quicker that I can turn around nominations into actual voting, the more time that we'll have to actually put the show together, which is what we need. All right. Thanks for being patient with me, chat. How did the viewers go up when I left? I should just put Triptychon in the chair. Viewers will go up. Nah. Make it like the Oscars, where each year is potentially a different host. I've thought about that. That's actually like a really good idea. I like that idea a lot. The problem is, I think you would run out of hosts in the community pretty quickly. I don't think there's too many people who would be able to keep a show like that running at a good pace. Hell, I can barely do it. I'm borderline not capable of being able to keep a show like that running. The one thing I would love is a production team behind the camera, because right now I am the one doing everything when the stream is live. It would be so nice to have someone like working the camera, so to speak, that could change over to the next video or fix a problem that chat's having or something like that, so I can just focus on hosting. Or flip that around. I'm the one behind the scenes running everything, and someone else can focus on hosting. I think that would be super sick. I just don't know how to do that. Because right now, you have all the presentations. Those are videos that I import as scenes into OBS. And then I just click through the OBS scenes as we go. Which, I don't know how to outsource that, so to speak. I don't know how to let someone else have control of that, I guess I should say. It's like that streamer that got more views of the plank of wood. True. See, viewers have gone down since I've sat down again. I should just put Triptychon in the chair. Holy shit. That's funny. Chair is the main character. Real. Chair's always the main character. But yeah, I do actually really like the idea of getting different hosts each year. I think that would be really fun. I do wish I could find some way to make multiple people host it. Like, I present the first half of the show and someone like Brandon presents the second half of the show. But again, that would involve switching the person who's physically streaming and all that stuff. I don't know how that would work logically. 2025, here I come. Holy fuck, it is almost 2025. Dude, 2024 still feels like a new year. What the fuck, dude? I hate time. Still feels like 2024 just started. Holy cow, it's almost 2025. That's terrifying. We say this every year though. Yeah, but as I've gotten older, the years have just felt more real. Like 2020 was I think 2020 was the first year where I was like, oh, that feels too real. That feels too futuristic. And it's just been the same ever since. With the right setup, we could co-host it. We could, but I also would think about the flow of the show. Because I would be lying. Listen, I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy hosting the Bally Awards. I genuinely love it. It's awesome. Being on a stage in front of that many people that isn't actually a stage is pretty cool. And being able to lead back and forth and run the show is really cool. Black Ops 2 took place in 2025. Oh, don't say that. That has bad implications for the state of the world. That's such a gross thing to think about. Thanks, I hate it. Do you have your Bally of the Year? That's the thing, I don't. I legitimately don't know what I would nominate for Bally of the Year this year. Like, there have been some unbelievably good Ballies, don't get me wrong. It's just I haven't... The Prisma Pro spoiled me because I've never felt that way about a Balisong ever again. Even the Seraph. Like, I've been excited about the Seraph, but I haven't been, like, as totally super shilly about the Seraph because the Seraph is expensive at the end of the day and people can't afford it. So I really don't know what my Bally of the Year would be. How many responses are we up to on the nominations? We are up to 62. That's pretty good for night one. I hope that continues. What do you use? What oil do you use for Bally's? I use Carbon Honey. Jake won. Not even blood drawn. They danced for 8 rounds. See, this is why I didn't want to watch it. Legitimately just small punches and blocks running the clock out. Seriously? Ah, that's so disappointing. Life's just been disappointing lately. That's all I'll say about that. Again, if you'll let me put on my tinfoil hat a little bit, I just don't believe there's any world where a fucking YouTuber beats one of the most legendary boxers of all time. I don't care how much he's trained. I know that shit was going to be rigged. I mean, I feel like most people did. I feel like most people kind of expected that Jake would win. It would be a pretty fucking boring fight. But, like, part of me was hoping that Mike was just going to Mike Tyson was just gonna fucking rock his shit. Pippa's thankfully sleeping in my arm as I type this. That's good. That's good. That fight was so scripted. I feel like I'm going to be hearing a lot of that over the next few days. But that's what I expected. I said at the beginning of the stream, if you think any part of this fight is going to be real, I think you're crazy. I think he paid Mike to be a bad boxer. I wouldn't put it past him. You're telling me Mike Tyson just blocked and ran out the time the whole time? I don't believe you. This is the guy that bit someone's ear off. But he's also retired, so he doesn't care if he does lose. So he'll take the money happily. And I think he'd be smart too. I think he made if this is what happened, he made bank off of it. Good for him. Milk the shit out of the stupid YouTuber. People paying the hope Jakes gets his ass beat. If you ever lose, the grift never ends. Yeah. No, I agree with that. As long as he's the one hosting the events, I don't think we'll ever see him lose. It's a weird comparison to make, but it's the same kind of shit that like those YouTubers who are like will they won't they couples do. You know, like the people who make entire channels of content off of like the are we dating or are we not? And like you're never going to see the resolution of that, because if that resolution happens, then they lose their viewership. I should say this, Brandon, in terms of dogs, we actually got good news about our dogs. We thought one of our dogs was going into liver failure, but we found out that that was actually not the case, and it should actually be treatable this week. So that's cool. Two women before them both tore eyes and face open, but then Legend and Douche Tubers spun in a circle for like 20 minutes. Yeah, that's expected. And you know what? I would be willing to bet that they'll announce a rematch within the next like few months. What do y'all think was most improved Valley this year? I'm going to be honest, I can't even think of any really good upgrades that have happened this year. That's another one that I'm legitimately interested in seeing where it goes. Oh, there were some that I'm not even thinking of. Yeah. Someone put the Kraken. Dude, three things are certain in life: death, taxes, and people putting the Kraken for the Bally Awards. Yeah, no, you're right. I completely forgot about these upgrades. We got the Barracuda V2, the Sirius V4, the Mako V5. There's one more, I thought. Let me pull up the... I guess you have the 101. Didn't the 101 get a V3 this year? Some people are saying Vault Pro. Is that an upgrade, though? I mean, I guess technically it is. The extrusion. Time takes its toll. Tyson is old. Yeah, I don't know. They released videos of their both of their training exercises, and it just looked like Tyson was not just like an old, slow guy. I'd have to watch a clip of the fight, but if Tyson wasn't like throwing some haymakers, then I just cannot believe that it was because he's old. V2 got a special texture version, but it wasn't V3. Wait, is there not a 101 V3? I need to change the list then, because I put 101 V3. Whoops. I make Vulp chucks. Oh my god, how would you even do that? Tyson didn't throw a single punch in the last 90 seconds of round 8. See, I just don't believe that. Well, I mean, I believe it, but I don't, you know what I mean. What do y'all think is most innovative, Bally? Yet another one that I don't think I could answer. I honestly think the TI Kraken has a good chance of taking that one, though. I think a lot of people are going to say, oh, the TI Kraken is like super, super innovative. TI Kraken was good. There is a 101 V3? Fuck. I thought so. Remove the channel and create a center steel piece. Oh, you're talking like custom. I thought you were talking about just like angle grinding the blade off of a Vulp and just running with that. The Canyon. You think the Canyon? I think the Canyon's innovative for its price, but not really for many other reasons. I mean, it's all stainless steel, but so is the Kershaw Lucha. I don't think there's too much innovative about it. I honestly don't think there was a ton of innovation in the Balisong hobby in general this year. I could see... How about the Teflon Vulp as an upgrade? I would actually say that the Teflon Vulp is more of an upgrade to the Vulp than the Vulp Pro is, because the Vulp Pro is a completely different product. Oh, I'm saying I want that as an official in the Bally's product. I see. I thought you were saying you were going to make it. Feel like this was a weaker year for Bally's. If you look at the list of Bally's that was released this year, I don't think it was a weaker year more than it was just like we're kind of running out of different ways to make metal spin around our fingers. Like, what? I have to remind myself, what won innovative last year? the Cygnus. And then before that, it was the Swordfish, right? What one innovative? Yeah, the Swordfish. So the Swordfish and the Cygnus. So I don't know. I look at innovation. I look at something like the palette. The palette's pretty innovative. I look at something like the Parallax from Zippy, or I look at something, even though the Parallax isn't released yet, so it wouldn't count this year. I'm looking at something like maybe the Canyon for how cheap it is. That's innovative. The extrusion, the way that they produce the extrusion, I think is pretty innovative. You think the Frank, Brandon? See, Pyro said the Frank, and I was like, I don't know what about the Frank is super innovative. Besides the fact that it just provided us with a different balance and distribution than people are really used to, but I guess that could be considered an innovation. The cheese or Teflon vault because of the new coating. That's a fair point. Teflon coating. Oh wait, Brandon, I'm sorry. Did I say that you said the Frank? No. I misread. Someone else in chat said the Frank. You said the palette and the Parallax. Palette and the Parallax, I totally agree. I think the palette's fairly innovative. Teflon coating, I think, is pretty innovative from Nubali's. False lie blades? I think false lie blades really got popularized this year. No, I guess they didn't. I guess they got popularized with the Hydra. The Necron. The Necron, because it brings such good specs at a cheap price. Funny enough, I think someone actually said that. Yeah, someone said Necron. The innovation is the next level greed. That's awesome. Squiddy XL, you could... I wouldn't say that the Squiddy XL is innovative, because Squid made the Megalodon. Squid made the giant Nautilus. There have been Mega Balisongs before. The Squiddy XL is just the first time that it was really, like, mass market available, you know? Hey, I'll give it to you guys. The Necron does innovate in reaching rock bottom for the $500 price point. Absolutely. Aluminum Archangel, first Balisong to fly out of your hand on any trick. Nah, not the first. You've clearly never flipped the Hybel trainers. I'm officially coming to New York City next year. Ooh, that's cool. Unfortunately, I don't think that has any implications on us meeting up, but that's awesome. Yeah, the Archangel. The Archangel is unfortunate. It's innovative in the sense that it brought back a classic. It's also innovative in the fact that it made it worse in every way, from what I've heard. Boomer Balisong companies just aren't winning. It's crazy. Benchmade's getting slapped around. Cold Steel's getting slapped around. I got tickets for My Chemical Romance today. Are they playing in New York City? BB Barfly is an OG. BB Barfly is an OG, and he doesn't take L's. But I mean like OG, like bigger companies. You know, like your BRS's, your Benchmades, Flightanium, stuff like that. What's up, Mint? They're playing in East Rutherford. Oh, they're playing in New Jersey? Man, wait, I never realized just how far down New York City sticks. Wow. Yeah, I really never realized how far down New York City is. See you, Dane. Yeah, East Rutherford's in New Jersey, apparently. Right next to New York City, so... Yeah, it's actually probably like a good half an hour out of New York City. I think it might be time to wrap up here soon, chat. I still need to install these. I need to install these Orion spacers. Wait. Oh yeah, they're in there. They're just... Was Ty big into My Chemical Romance growing up? You know, I should know the answer to this. I don't think I do. I don't think Ty was MCR. He could have been. For some reason, I can't even think of what music Ty did like growing up. Which I definitely know the answer to it. It's just not coming to me right now because my brain's fried. Brandon, are there really not any closer shows than New Jersey? Is that really all they're going to? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to have you up in my neck of the woods, but that surprises me. I know he likes Midwestern emo, but I'm not sure if he's into emo. I don't think so. I think there's a good chance that he was, but My Chemical Romance isn't something that I remember him talking about a lot. Or he did, and I'm just the worst friend ever. That is also possible. Not going to deny that that is possible. No, there are. My childhood best friend, super into MCR, lives right next to the stadium. We wanted to go to New York to visit him. Oh, that's cool. That's super cool. Well, I hope you have literally the best time ever. Zippy spacers really do help with the Archangel flipping, just not with the horrible tolerances. Yeah, unfortunately, Zippy is a modder, not a miracle worker. With that thing only being on washers, as I hear it is, there is not too much of a chance of it being a hugely tolerant flipper, if you will. What the fuck? I just made Kershaw Lucha Chucks and they are so good. I mean, that makes sense. You have a handle bias to shit knife and you make it even more handle bias because Fun Chucks really need a handle bias to kind of keep going around your fingers with no blade. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Love your background, so much cool stuff. Thank you, dude. I'm actually really happy with it. Would love to see you just stumble over words to say with it. Oh, with the Archangel? Yeah, that would be interesting. But yeah, the background, I figured, hey, what if I change my camera to the other side? And it turns out it gets to show a lot of the cool stuff that I'm actually into. Transformers, Balisongs. I could put headphones back there. Instead of throwing it that way towards my bed where you just see my bunched up blanket and a couple stuffed animals that I purposely put there to make the background look less or more interesting. Next year, we're all screwed on the sales side of the market. What makes you say that? What makes you say that? Actually, I think I know what makes you say that. I sent you a video. You sent me a video, did you? Shout out top chatter of the stream, Ted Flips. Did you send it on Telegram? That's when when they released the PayPal, Venmo, Cash App limit. I don't understand what you mean. Oh, Brandon, what the fuck? Did you just put lucha handles on the Pibba? You just put lucha handles on the tang of the... That's insane. Goofy as hell, but insane. Wait. Oh my gosh, what did you use? Did you put the bearings in it? Did you reuse the bushings? What is it running on? Anything over $600 qualifies for a 1099 form with the IRS, where you have to fill out what each individual transaction is. Telegram, yeah, I saw it. That's when you're... That's when they release the limit. I thought over $600 was already a thing. Like, you already had to do that. Or is that $600 in a single transaction? People will find ways around that, I'm sure. I used all the hardware from the Fun Chucks. That worked? That's insane. I guess the bushings don't have to be particularly well tuned because there's no blade. They pushed it till next year. This year's anything over 5K. I see. I'm gonna look this up. I want to know more about this. PayPal 600 rule. issue a 1099K form to anyone who received more than $600 in a year. This will move from the 2023 tax year to tax year 2024. Presently, third party required to provide individuals with a 1099K if they receive more than $20,000 and had completed more than 200 transactions. On November 21st, 2023, the notice in Notice 2023-74, the IRS decided to further delay the implementation of this reporting change until the 2024 tax year and increase the $600 threshold to $5,000. This is a positive development for most taxpayers, as those with more than $600 but less than $5,000 will not experience this new tax reporting in the IRS until tax year 2024. Even the IRS recognizes the casual sale of goods and services, including selling used personal items like clothing, furniture, other household items for a loss, could generate a 1099K form for many people, even if the seller has no tax liability from those sales. The complexity in distinguishing between these types of transactions is what factored the IRS decision to delay the reporting requirements an additional year. Huh. Yeah, there's no such thing as an ice pick sound test on a fun truck. The ice pick sound test is your blade bouncing back and forth. $600 reporting threshold. That's crazy. That would have caught me even, because I definitely sold that much last year. No, I guess I didn't. I bought that much last year. Because last year's when I went on a tear with headphones and IEMs. Wait, was that this year? No, it was last year. Now I got that guy. Yeah, we'll have to see how that affects things, Ted. That'll be interesting. There's a lot of things that could affect us in the next year that I'm very interested to see the extent or impact of. I buy one NAMI from a guy, he has to fill out a form with the transaction details at the end of the year. Yeah, not only that, but if you buy 3 Prisma Pros, then that guy would have to do the same thing. Because it's cumulative. It's $600 transferred over to you. I say I sold a knife, I get fined or possible prison. That will be interesting, to say the least. Damn. Yeah, damn. That'll be very interesting. But China pays the tariff. Real? True? There's a possibility it's only with goods and services and friends and family is still fine. I kind of think that will be what it is. I feel like that's the easiest way to distinguish between like a birthday gift that someone's giving and like an actual service being provided. The thing that kind of screws over is if you sell toys on the secondhand market, they usually use goods and services. If you sell headphones, they use goods and services. So those people are going to have to start paying taxes on the money that they get from that stuff. Even though they're not a business, they're just selling stuff that they have in their house. Does duty-free purchases from outside your country not get affected from tariffs? I have no fucking clue. I'm not an economist. I don't know any of this shit. I am washing my hands and not answering that question because I have no idea. Or new to the community, nobody trusts you. Yeah. Yeah, GNS for new to the community as well. This is about the tariffs? No, this is not about the tariffs. Would you say the Empusa is still one of your favorite Bally's? No, I wouldn't. It's still a phenomenal Bally. I still love the look of it. But flipping wise, I would definitely pick something like my SlifT, SlifT Prism Pro. Even like a Barracuda V2 over it. Why is my throat so dry? I'm going to go get another drink. Brick. They weigh less than the Empusa and they're definitely more accessible. I mean, it's not even that. It's just the general flipping experience of it. You got to get references and become well recognized before anyone agrees to GNS. I assume you mean FNF? If we all switch to FFF only, FNF only to avoid this, scammers are going to skyrocket. Yeah, it's bad either way that you look at it, but yeah, I don't know. I do not know. What's up, Ace? Transformers Studio Series collection is growing, I see. No. There's no Studio Series. I mean, the car he's holding is a Studio Series, but this guy's thrilling 30s, I'm pretty sure, and he's Titan's Return. If anyone gets let down by a Seraph, I'm wanting to pick up a Seraph soon. Also scared people might have overhyped it for me. Maybe someone let down. I'm reasonably confident. I'm like 70% confident that you wouldn't be let down by a Seraph. Who knows though? People have very vastly different opinions. But the Seraph, even if you can't, like, even if you don't get with the balance or the distribution of it, the Seraph is impressive in so many other ways. The Seraph is just hands down one of the best crafted Balisongs in the entire hobby. Feels good in the hand, it feels good to flip, it feels solid, it feels quality. And for me personally, it's the added bonus of it being literally my favorite balance / distribution I've ever felt. Ask your opinion on the Tonto Krakens. I think they're the best flipping Krakens, but I don't own one. Actually, the Weehawk is probably the best flipping, but the Tonto is a close second. I love the Tonto Krakens. I shouldn't say I love them. I think they're great. Also, Brandon, now that I don't actually know if Brandon's here or not, but if he is, now that the Bally Awards are taken care of for at least a week, I'm going to look at hopefully getting the podcast that we filmed months ago up. I'm sorry it's taken me this long. It shouldn't have taken this long, but how much is a Seraph these days? I don't know. Ted, you just sold one, didn't you? Like for like $450 or something like that? Yeah, Seraph is just addicting. Tonto with Speed Channel is best balance. I could see that. Yeah, but I'm goated on prices. True. I don't think it's unrealistic to see a Seraph going for 500 these days. I don't know if we should even release it at this point. No. What was the... Dude, I would be lying if I said I remembered the conversation. What did we even talk about? Okay, I'm gonna put the live blade down now. Was it filmed pre or post Necron? Post Necron. Yeah, dude, I would be lying if I said I remembered what our topic list was. You swap that to bronze washers? The Seraph? No. State of the Hobby, Fellowship Blades going down, Blade Show West coming out, things like that. I don't think it'd be the worst to release it, but if you feel like we should re-record it, that's okay with me. Because there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about now, especially with you having judged your first Bally comp. Playing around with the idea of instead of going for sandwich for a design, I could go for tie welding. Heard so many royal conniptions lately about stainless steel washers ruining your knife, and now I'm paranoid. I'm not worried about it. Here's the deal. Machinewise is the one who put the steel washers in there. If the steel washers ruin the knife, I trust Machinewise would fix it. But based on how many times I've taken apart both my Prisma Pro and SlifT to switch the blades, I have not noticed any significant damage. Dalen said that he extensively tested stainless steel washers. I believe him. I'm willing to trust him on that. But I also wouldn't blame you if you didn't feel that way. The only state I would release it is with a disclaimer at the beginning telling people it was recorded months ago and just wasn't uploaded, to enjoy it within that context. Yeah, we could do that. I'll leave that one up to you, Brandon, because I really don't have a problem either way. We can re-record it or we can release it. Either way, I think it would be good to record a new podcast episode soon, given how much that we both experienced in the past few months. Technically, I put stainless steel washers in it after swapping the ruined bronze. Yeah, but like Machinewise has stated that the stainless steel washers are good enough for their products, so. How does a titanium washer differ from the other washer? So phosphorus bronze was chosen because it is a softer metal than the steel of both the bushing of the Balisong and the steel of the blade. So phosphorus bronze washers were created as sort of a consumable item because the metal on both sides of them would wear into them and cause grooves and stuff, so you have to replace them every time you take your Balisong apart. It's good practice to do that, at least. The idea with stainless steel is that you have a stainless steel washer in between two other pieces of stainless steel, so there's no wear happening. So these washers are far more durable, far more permanent than phosphorus bronze would be. They wouldn't be consumable. You wouldn't have to replace them whenever you take apart your Balisong. The problem is a lot of people kind of throw a hissy fit about it because they say that it damages their blades and stuff. I have yet to see actual like concrete proof of this, but it is something that a lot of people have been saying for a while. So it's kind of a tough call. Machinewise has stated that he tested them extensively, and he believes with stainless steel washers, you have a so-called permanent tune, so much so that they stopped including extra washers in their packages. I personally trust the word of the person whose livelihood is based on that testing rather than the word of people who have anecdotes on Twitter, basically. But you have to make that decision for yourself. How do you feel the Nami stacks up to the Seraph for you personally? The Nami is good. The Nami is squarely below the Seraph for me. I think there's still some value to the conversations we had. I think people would enjoy it. Just need to know from it's a good bit ago. Fair enough. I can do that. Would like to record another soon, though. I would, too, once I'm done being sick. When I'm done being sick, I would love, love, love to record another one. Hopefully, maybe, with a different background this time, because it's just so happened to work out that every single time we record the podcast, I've been home. When will they release the honeycomb superfly handles? Your guess is as good as mine, but I thought they already did. Spending so much time with my Nami recently is much harder to pick a favorite now. I think my opinions would definitely be changed if I could spend a long time with a Nami, but I just don't have the desire to. I just don't have that desire. Super excited for the Bally Awards this year. Happy to hear it, Buffness. Superfly or Nami? Oh, Nami wins every single day, but the Superfly is still a great value. Made a trade with Barfly, so I got the special Superfly early. But people keep telling me to get one. I thought they were out already. Also, my throat is killing me. I don't know why. It's not killing me. It's just scratchy enough that it makes it kind of difficult to talk. Yeah, I guess they haven't released it yet. Strange. Dude, Pyro's Kraken looks awesome. What is that? Dual tone gunmetal with the Damascus blade. That thing looks sick. Okay, so they haven't been released yet. So the Superfly wouldn't count for Bally of the Year, even if the handles, even if I felt that the handles made it a different enough experience. Cream Soda been begging him for one. He's had to wait. Damn. Can't wait for the Zippy Reblade. I am cautiously optimistic about the Zippy Reblade. I do sort of wish Zippy would focus his efforts on something that didn't already flip really well. But I'm excited to see what he's capable of doing with it. Zippy and metal is something that I didn't really think I would see in my lifetime, but I'm happy that I kind of am. The zipper fly. All right, chat. I think I'm gonna kill the stream here. I think we are about at the end of time. 3.5 hours. Holy shit. I think since it worked with the Lucha handles, it'll work with the Superfly since they're both sandwich. Maybe. I'm surprised the Lucha worked with it, considering the Lucha's meant to run on bearings. I need to go edit together the blade bias video that's coming out tomorrow, and I also need to keep flipping the Shino so that I can get my opinions on it and send it back out to Remshi. But, spoiler alert, the Shino is so much better with these zippy spacers. It's crazy. Might have to do a live stream talking about my predictions for the Balisong hobby for 2025 one of these days. Because I think there's a lot of things that are going to change this hobby fundamentally. But yeah, nominations are live. Please spread the word. I will hopefully have a post up tomorrow to make it a little easier to share. I'm just not sure how it's going to work since you can't really put a link in Instagram comments. So we'll figure out some way for me to make a post so people can share it easier, but get your nominations in. Please make sure that they're spelled correctly. Please make sure that you actually pick something that is eligible for what it's going to be nominated for. But beyond that, thank you all for the great discussions. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna get going. I hope you have a good night, good day, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Have a great one. Flip some good Balisongs. Make some good choices. Be good to each other, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.